Yes, sir. In the name of love. Welcome to Mama Beyonce, aka Spiritual Guidance, um, Inspirational, Espiritita, etc., etc. And I am your host, and my name is Sandra. I love you guys. Anywho, thank you, my lovelies, for sharing these moments with me. And thank you to my new subscribers for liking and sharing and leaving me a comment. Every single comment is so important to me. I appreciate all your input, which will help me grow and grow my channel or your channel. Okay? Together we'll get better. Yes, sir. There's a poem that goes don't lead, don't walk in front of me because I may not follow. Don't walk behind me because I may not lead. Walk beside me, hold my hand, and together we will conquer. Yeah. Don't walk in front of me, for I may not follow. Don't walk behind me, for I may not lead. Walk beside me, hold my hand, and together we will conquer. I love it. Especially for you. But that. Yes. So thank you so much. Together we will conquer this and explode our message out into the world for all those that need to hear this special message. Okay. Um. So on to today's material. I want to speak about how many different types of hats that we wear. There are good hats that we wear that we um, inherited from birth, right? And then we have those hats that are placed on us by society or family members. And then there's those hats that we just can't let go, right? I don't know. Been there, done that. And I wear a t-shirt. Yeah. So, some of those great hats are, being a daughter, being a son, brother or sister hat, or aunt or uncle, mother and father, grandfather, grandmother, great grandmother, great grandfather. Those are all fantastic hats to wear. Best friend hats, yeah. Those are all fantastic hats to wear. I have to pick up my butter. She's a she's a little spoiled, right? It's about dinner time, so yeah, she's gonna start her whining. Anyway, so those are all great hats, right? And when we wear the hat of accomplishment, triumph, you know, the list could go on. You get the idea, right? But then there's those hats that society or family places on us that are not too good, and we stop believing on them. For example, uh, when I was younger, and my mother had to take me to an eye doctor because I was always stumbling and always bumping into walls or chairs, stumbling over a leaf and scratching up my knees. And she started calling me clumsy. And Lord and behold, I wasn't clumsy. I needed eyeglasses, but she didn't know. Love you, Ma. Rest in peace. Um, in time, we found out that I have retinitis pigmentosa, which is an eye disease that starts deteriorating the eyesight. Um, but that's an example, personal example. You know, there are many parents that tend to do that. Put a stupid hat on your child because they're not writing the way you want them to write, or they're not understanding, right away. So we'll slap hats on them. Stupid, dumb, never amount to nothing, you're no good, etc. And society doesn't help. Now in this time it's a little bit better, but still you are labeled. you know look a person that has an addiction. you know Back in the day, these were low, no good, uh evil people. you know and I know from experience. I worked in a rehabilitation for drug users for many years, and yeah, you got that 10% that some people, you know, they just out there. But um, I never say nobody's out of reach, you know. But you know, usually addicts use because they're hurt, and they lack knowledge of expressing it. The only thing they know how to express is anger, you know, or untrusting, you know. But that example of addiction, oh, you'll never amount to nothing. I've heard many times um, in the program that I used to work in, they gave GEDs classes, and I heard many of the psychologists there saying, not all, but some say, "Oh, you'll never, whatever age you started using, if you started at 9 years old, oh, 12 years old, whatever it was, um, that's your mentality. That's as much knowledge you're gonna get. So you're taking a GED is a waste of time." I was, I had to throw myself back. That's not so, but we tend to believe this, you know. Many of us in that rehabilitation place encourage the people to come in and take the test, you know, and don't put any expectations on time limit. Take your time, encourage them. Many of them passed, okay? Many of them learned, okay? So those labels, we tend to, or you're never going to get off of drugs. Once you're on it, you're on it. Um, that's not so either, you know. But we tend to, believe this. One, because it's the authority saying this to us. And then two, we're in a pit hole to begin with. So all we know is sorrowful things, right? But anyway, yeah, those hats are awful, and it's unfortunate, you know. Or a woman being beat, oh, it's your fault, the husband, you make me do this. What? you know um the woman tends to believe it. Her self-esteem is so low, And it's been said to her so many times. And we don't know how her parents were with her, that plays a big part in it. Um, yeah. No, honey. We are not what they labeled us to be. Okay? We are not, you know. If you believe that, if you're going through any of that today, you need to seek some help or keep listening to me. Keep rewinding my videos because you are marvelously made. Okay? If I could hug you, I would give you a big hug. That's what you need. No, but slowly and surely rinse the race, And the first thing you have to do is tear that hat off, you know. And as a couple of videos before this is belief system, Is that belief yours or that belief is someone else's that implanted that seed in your head, right? No, it has to be your own belief system. hmm I always encourage you to speak out, and if you're not ready to do that, at least sit down and be still and analyze it with you and spirit, you and your guardian angel, you and source, God, Jesus, you know and when you're ready, but we don't have to wear those hats, you know but on a happier note, we have those hats that as I mentioned, uh scholar, doctor, you know this shows our accomplishments, right? um Airline stewardess, the list could go on, fireman. All these are wonderful things, but all these hats, you chose. You see the difference, huh? Yes. These are hats you placed on yourself, right? And all those are marvelous: musician, inspirational speaker, the list could go on. Um, and then there's those hats that are put on you to prevent certain situations. Um, for example, as we're growing up, our parents tend to shield us from mistakes they've made, or um, they believe or feel that someone else is going to take advantage of us. So they put that baby hat on us. Wow. you know, and want to make all the choices for us, which is wonderful. And I'm a parent myself, I did that quite a few times, so it got to the point where I caught myself, and as much as it affected me, I had to let it go and let God, you know. Um, and the spirituality, sometimes, I think I mentioned this story before. I was coming into my spiritual um, awakening, and there was a ceremony in my godmother's house, and she was touching me and speaking over me and doing what she does. and I felt the spirit coming on. But the feeling is so weird that maybe in some other, if you're interested, I'll describe it to detail. But it was weird, that feeling. And I started, like, crying, not crying, but yelling out, right? So my mother said, "No, that's enough." But my godmother wouldn't finish. She was like, "No, she has to, she has to pass her spirit." And my mother could not take, seeing me in that position. So she broke through the circle and she grabbed me, and she kind of grounded me for a minute there. Yeah. So it delayed my evolvement, you know, me evolving, you know, when I was supposed to. But, I'm not upset with her because she didn't want me to go through what she's gone through. You know, working the spirits is not an easy task, you know. It isn't, because you don't only um, receive good spirits, you receive a lot of negative spirits. You receive malevolence and benevolence spirits, you know. So it's not easy, especially in the beginning if you're not guided, and you don't know who's who, you know, it gets very, very dangerous. So my mother wanted me to not go through that. So she spiritually grounded me for quite a few years. But you know, uh she's in heaven now, and I'm now going through I go through a lot of stuff spiritually. You guys don't have no idea. Okay. And sometimes my family members look at me like I'm crazy, I'm losing it. And no, I'm not losing it. um the spirit world is very intense. Okay. And then I'm by myself right now. Well, not by myself, because source and my ancestors are behind me. But what I'm saying is physically, right? I don't have anybody physically with me. But yeah, so sometimes we'll place hats to protect us, you know. And that's an okay hat. I say okay because she I'm not even gonna finish that sentence. Everything happens for a reason. So there it went. Boop. Yeah. But yes. Uh it's one thing to speak about the devil, and then it's another thing to see him come, right? Or to smell him or touch him, right? That's some scary crapola. Yeah. Let me tell you, honey. But anyway, yeah, hats that we obtain, hats that we could keep, and hats that we need to let go, toss them, burn them. I don't care. Throw them in the water. Get rid of them. Okay. That reminds me of a little story from the Orishas. I had to do with Garida, um, Ochum. Okay, but I'm gonna tell you a short version. So, Ochum, they say that she was the most beautiful woman in the Yoruba religion, um, and the smallest and the strongest. Yes, sir. So, Mefere Mama Ochum. She when she came to the earth, she came as a peacock, a beautiful. 7, 8, 6. Oh boy. a beautiful peacock. You know, peacocks have beautiful long tails. Some of them could be as long as 6 feet, right? And one day, Olofi Source God was calling her up in heaven. He wanted to conversate. And she's one of his favorites too. So she would leave the earthly plane as a peacock. And so she would start running, then hop, and try to get up in the air. Because, you know, peacocks don't fly that high. As soon as she got into the air, she started changing. And all the feathers went away. And she was able to fly higher and higher. And when she was mid between plateaus, she turned into a vulture. Yeah. Some people will go, ew, vultures are beautiful. So she got to Olofi, and Olofi was so happy to see her. And he was looking at her adoringly, like she was the most beautiful um, um, vulture in the world. You know, he did not see no ugliness in her, you know. So you know, we have to stay true to who we are, you know, whether we're a roach or a vulture or we're fat, skinny. I preach this all the time, you know, accepting ourselves for who we are. Source loves us. He created us. Whether we have the dumb, stupid hat or we have the smart hat on, right? Olofi loves us as vultures. Okay? Be unique. Stay true to yourself. And with that, Mama Beyond is going to bid you love, light, and blessings. Thank you so much. My father for Mama Ochun. Échame tu bendición hoy todos los días de mi vida. Gracias. And remember my motto, when you shine your light out into the world, you want it to reach far and wide. Make sure the light at home shines bright and strong.
Message. Jose just checked.
Oh my God. I know, that's Pokebronx. Uncle Rico. Make sure the light at home shines bright and strong. I am your host, and my name is Sandra. Yes, sir. Thank you, my lovelies. Come on, pick her up. Come on. And tell Uncle Rico to start calling me. Smooches later.